this Mark. The other Mark talked about and because I want to talk here specifically about the Irish environment, given that that's where we are, although many of these lessons are have relevance internationally. But Mark talks about how chaotic some news organisations or news providers in Ireland are, and asks the question, given the kind of challenges that they face, how does a news organisation or news provider react to this?
Yeah, to think there's an Irish condition is bullshit. Like, to think that in some ways, I know that the debate about plurality, there are other issues as well that are distinct to Ireland, but the concept that you have some different model of innovation, that you have an Irish solution to an Irish problem, is just nonsense. And I think the core of what's been said has been really interesting, that the nature of an innovative newsroom in itself is a very distinct question. It's not just peripheral, we'll all go for some speedy solution. I think there are three things. I've just done a big innovation report for Storyful internally to discover why we have been agile and how we can be agile again as we get bigger. And the key thing I realize is that there's several counterintuitive things about innovation that we don't really grasp yet as news organizations. The first is think inside the box. If you're trying to copy somebody else, you're way too late. So what you've got to do is see what's your continuous strength. For example, I look at the Irish Independent and I say, well, farming. I think sports, the Irish Times, clearly politics. And you know that these are the places you already have a reputation and a brand. So go for the things you're strong at the moment, not try to invent some tech section. The second thing is think small. So the idea that you're going to replace your CMS or that you're going to buy in some incredible new app that's going to revolutionize things is not the right approach. It's to look at some small project. You can have a small team, multidisciplinary, innovators, technologists, journalists. Business development is crucial to have in the mix as well. And think about something small. Fail fast. The concept is these small teams should mimic what in technology is called agile development. The concept here is that you don't have a set goal in 2 years' time to achieve something. You have a general idea where you're going, and you do generally 2-week sprints with these small teams, and you get to adjust very quickly. You fail quickly, you learn the lesson, and you've got another 2 weeks then to rectify that. It's a beautiful model. It doesn't work without the final piece of the puzzle, which is what we're really, really bad at, and that's a culture of innovation. So we have on the one side technologists who generally have kind of Asperger's syndrome. They love putting their headphones on, getting down, and they don't want to be disturbed. We have a journalist who's got ADHD, right, because he's all looking for the next new thing. And trying to get those people together in one place, as Malachy and Gav, who really did this in an incredible way, they built the culture of Storyful that was, when you put these people together in this kind of short sprint, fail-fast cycles, it's sublime what happens. You get more than the sum of the parts. And so those three things, think inside the box, fail fast, but create a culture in which they all have a spoken language that is a combination of both technology and journalism. Now, I know that sounds extremely theoretical, but it's not. I can see practical examples of that kind of leadership happening in news organizations all over the world, and it is not something that has to be adapted to Ireland with some Irish character. So I think there are newsrooms doing this, but I think the key is understanding that technology on its own is not sufficient. It's absolutely necessary. Journalism on its own is absolutely necessary but not sufficient. It has to be a combination of both, and that requires something that we don't do very well, which is embrace risk-taking and failure. It's not in our DNA. It kind of has to be.